Breaking today, Iran's terror proxy Hezbollah rejecting a ceasefire agreement between Israel and Lebanon that could be key to a Trump-brokered peace deal with Tehran. Our senior White House correspondent Peter Doocy is on the North Lawn with the latest. Peter, a lot of people might be shaking their heads to say, why does a designated foreign terror organization even have a seat at the table?
Yes, exactly, John. And when President Trump looks at that ceasefire that is very fragile and also the ceasefire with Iran, he's trying to reframe ceasefire, basically saying that even though missiles and bombs are still flying out of Iran, it's all relative.
How do you define ceasefire?
Pretty much the way it is. It's a different part of the world. You know, I'd say in that part of the world, ceasefire is when you're shooting in a more moderate manner.
President Trump is big mad at the House of Representatives, posting yesterday in a meaningless vote. The House voted 4 bad Republicans and all of the Democrats to limit my war powers right in the middle of my final negotiations to end the war with the Islamic Republic of Iran. Who would do such an unpatriotic thing? They know where the negotiations stand. That vote is symbolic for now, so the president is moving forward with plans to wear the Iranians down with diplomacy or with war fighting until they fork over enriched uranium, something President Trump claims they agreed to until they didn't.
It depends on what day you're talking about. They did agree, and then sometimes they agree. The only ones, us and probably China, are the only 2 countries that have the equipment where you can do that. So, yeah, I want to get it. We have, at different times, had different, I mean, they've changed their mind a couple of times.
And about an hour and 45 minutes from right now, President Trump is going to host an event about clean coal, but we do expect some Q&A because we typically get it from him. And we will try to get some answers about the latest with these negotiations. John.
He has been known to engage with the press a time or two. We'll see if he does it again. Peter, thank you. Aisha?
Okay, let's bring in retired Navy Commander Kirk Lippold, former commanding officer of the USS Cole. When it was bombed by al-Qaeda terrorists almost 26 years ago, it killed 17 American sailors. Good afternoon to you. Thanks for joining us on the program today. Let's talk about Hezbollah and its role, I guess, in these negotiations somehow. This is a Wall Street Journal headline and quote here. I want to read to you about it. It says, Israel and Lebanon's renewed ceasefire is already under strain. Hezbollah's leader, Naim Qassem, in a speech Thursday, rejected the ceasefire struck in Washington. He demanded a full Israeli withdrawal from Lebanon before Hezbollah would cease its attacks and said Iran was negotiating its own version of a ceasefire in Lebanon. The declaration is a roadmap for the annihilation of a section of the Lebanese people and the enslavement of the rest, Qassem said. So, like John said, how is it that Hezbollah suddenly has a voice in all of this?
Well, what you're actually seeing, is the fact that Iran does not want to negotiate with the United States, and they are merely using Hezbollah as another tool in their kit to delay negotiations because time now favors the Iranians in almost everything they do. The fact that Iran thinks that Hezbollah should be integrated and should run the country of Lebanon as if that country were a proxy rather than an independent nation that the United States has tried to work with for years to bolster their military, to bolster their government, to get it so that it does not fall under the sway of Hezbollah is absolutely stunning. But it typifies this is why the Iranians cannot be trusted.
Well, the president is still weighing his options. This is him yesterday in the Oval Office. Let's watch.
We could go another 2-3 weeks and just wipe everybody out. I'd rather not do that. Very easy to do. They're ready to do it. They want to do it. They want to do it. But if we can get something down in writing which will accomplish the same thing without killing everybody, I'd like to do that.
In your mind, sir, what's the trigger? When should we go back and start bombing?
I think at this point, like a lot of the American public, we're looking at it and saying the job needs to be finished. While President Trump clearly believes that there is a path using diplomatic means to get Iran to come to the table, to give up those key things, first and foremost, the nuclear program, ballistic missiles, the support for proxy groups and opening the Strait of Hormuz, time at this point is benefiting no one but the Iranians. And while President Trump can be patient, I think the reality of it is we need to get in there and finish the job. This little bit of back and forth on what constitutes a ceasefire, we're the ones that should be dictating the terms, not the Iranians. And if they shoot, we should flat out begin combat and kinetic operations again, because the United States our ability, our credibility throughout the Middle East and the world is now being challenged by Iran. And the president cannot afford to leave them in the driver's seat, whether it's with something as simple as Hezbollah and their influence throughout Lebanon, or whether it is the Strait of Hormuz, or whether it's their nuclear program.
Well,
Iran needs to give those things up.
For now, talks are continuing. I'm sure you saw this a week on the Hill. The House passed this Iran War Powers resolution. It very much upset the president, especially at a time where we are in critical negotiations. The country is obviously not united in terms of how to deal with Iran. So is Iran reading something like that, what folks on Capitol Hill just did, and thinking, let's take advantage of that politically. Let's take advantage of the situation because the country is so divided.
Absolutely. Iran is taking advantage. Time is on their side now because they know that the American people have a short attention span and do not realize the implications of a nuclear-armed Iran. At the end of the day, yes, gas prices are high. It is affecting the economies of the world. But at the end of the day, what's the alternative? Iran stays with all their nuclear material, which they will eventually dig out. They will begin to recentrifuge it and be able to increase that to get to nuclear weapons grade material. We cannot afford that. So the alternative is so severe that we may have to put up with a little bit. And while there may be some impact on the midterm elections, I think the American people are smart enough to realize that what the president is trying to do, first diplomatically and then with combat operations, should they have to recommence, is to ensure that the world is going to be safer. But at this point, as I mentioned, time is now favoring the Iranians, not the United States. And at some point, the president's going to have to make that hard decision and begin operations that are going to bring the Iranians to their knees.
Yeah, but he says he's not going to be pressured by the upcoming midterm elections. He's not going to be allow that to affect his decision making. So we'll see what he does in the next couple of days here. Commander, thank you very much for joining us. Great to see you.
Thank you as well. Thank you for having me on.
It's 2 a.m. Yeah, I'm wide awake, scrolling through every move you make. You said I'm fine, yeah, classic you, but I know that line ain't ever true. Got your hoodie still in my room, smells like a cheap cologne perfume. Trying to act like I don't care, but your ghost is everywhere. You say we're good, but we're not the same. Now I'm dancing in the pouring rain. Thought we would forever, guess I was wrong. Now I'm just another sad love song. You left me on red, yeah, no reply. Got me overthinking every night. Was it real or just a vibe? Guess I'll never know this time. You said ride or die, then you dipped so fast. Now I'm stuck living in the past. Yeah, you played me like a game instead. Now I'm crying cause you left me on red. Cause you left me on red. Your playlist still got my name, but you don't feel the same. That's insane. Posting pics like you're okay while I'm breaking every single day. You said no drama, no goodbyes, but you vanished like a lullaby. Now I'm staring at my screen like, what did you really mean? Every text I never sent, every word I still regret. You moved on like nothing's wrong while I'm stuck inside this song. You left me on red, yeah, no reply. Got me overthinking every night. Was it real or just a vibe? Guess I'll never know this time. You said ride or die, then you dipped so fast. Now I'm stuck living in the past. Yeah, you played me like a game instead. Now I'm crying cause you left me on red. Maybe I was just a phase, just a spark that fades away. But you were my whole damn sky. Now I'm learning how to say goodbye. Yeah, I'm done with your mixed signals, your late night, I miss your riddles. You lost me, yeah, that's your loss. Now I'm stronger, I'm my own boss. You left me on red, but now I'm fine. Got my heart back, yeah, it's mine. Wasn't love just a disguise? Now I see through all your lies. You said ride or die, but I survived. Now I'm finally feeling alive. Yeah, you broke me, but instead I found myself when you left me on